Michael was as everyone knows, a very phenomenal performer. If they have as good a voice as Michael and can accomplish 3.5 octaves, actually 3 octaves in a minor sixth, they used to vocalize him. And with all that dancing, 21, 22 songs, full out dancing and maybe a couple of ballads. And I used to vocalize him on tour 3 times a day, 12 to 1, 4 to 4:30, and 8:15 to 8:30 before he went on. So if he was extravagant one afternoon, I'd put him back in and tell him where the mistakes were, tell him where not to do it, and he would go back and he would, revitalize his connection, and bingo, off he'd go.
When did you start coaching him?
32 years ago. 32 years ago.
How was your first meeting? Do you remember the first meeting?
Yeah, first meeting, I went. We were going to go up the front door, and the carpenter said, "No, we're putting in new stairs, so you have to go up over the roof." I said, "What?" "You have to go up over the roof." So they gave us a ladder. Crawled up the ladder, walked across part of the roof, and there were a couple of steps up, and there was a door. So I walked over, knocked on the door, and this voice says, "Hello." I said, "Is that you, Michael?" "Yeah." "Come on in." So I came in, and there he was, holding a chimpanzee by both rear feet. And with a washcloth, he was cleaning up his butt and put a diaper on him. That was my first meeting with Michael.
It's very interesting.
And I taught him in his bedroom all the time because he was very comfortable there, and he had all of his toys and things like that around him. He had, it was a 2-story bedroom, and he had mannequins in there, a little girl in a tutu and a boy in a tuxedo, and they're leaning on the top balcony looking down at him. Pinocchio was hanging on the stairway up to the balcony, and if you hit him, he would bounce up and down. And I'd be in there vocalizing Michael on the piano, and the chimpanzee would hit Michael on the shoulder and then push Pinocchio, who would go up and down, and then he would clip me on the shoulder. Michael thought that was so funny. And so our lessons were always punctuated by animals moving in, moving out. And his heart was on his sleeve. Whenever he heard that there was somebody in distress, he went to rescue them. When a young boy was put in a room and set on fire by his father, was burnt very badly, Michael read about it. And immediately he flew out. And the young man was all bandaged and in the hospital, had one little hole here for him to talk through. Everything else was a mass of bandages. And he said, "I don't know what I'm going to do. What am I going to do?" And Michael said, "Don't worry. I'll take care of you for the rest of your life." And he did. He always had something for that fellow to do.
What is your favorite memory of Michael Jackson?
There were so many. Mostly, they had to do with his heart. He had a great heart. He went everywhere that somebody was in trouble. He went and shelled out money to buy what they needed or to fix their lives. He went to that little boy, Ryan White, who was given a transfusion of bad blood and got AIDS. He went and buried a young baby that was drowned because her mother threw her off because the father had walked away, no way to feed her. So that baby was thrown in the river, whatever, off the bridge. And the little brother was thrown in the bridge, and the woman jumped in. But somebody was able to get the mother and the other child, the baby was drowned. Michael read about it immediately. He went down to Long Beach. And I was waiting for the funeral. So the father had come back. We saw the trouble he'd caused, and away his infant son's death or whatever. And someone said, "Why isn't this funeral started?" He said the person paying for it hasn't gotten here yet. But at that time, up came a limo, and who stepped out? Michael. No matter where we were in Liverpool. Michael read in the paper that, as they do every once in a while, a young person brought up by wolves, and immediately began to cry. And he said, how terrible, we've got to give a fundraiser for that little fellow. You know? And people were constantly trying to get money out of him. He was accused by a young boy of molestation. And when the trial was over, he was acquitted. And later on, the boy admitted that his father had talked him into that. Talked him into saying that. And that it wasn't true. And then later, the father committed suicide. So there are a lot of things that people understand about Michael. He would never, never upset a child in any way. He may give them too much popcorn, too much ice cream. Over the ranch, with these great big things of Haagen-Dazs ice cream all over the place. Out in the parking lot, in the soda fountain. I used to go out there early with no breakfast, just to go to the soda fountain and have a big dish of Haagen-Dazs for breakfast. And every year we would take all the kids and the parents up to Neverland Ranch. And the parents would come over to me. I'd be sitting there watching it because I'd been through all that, known it for a long time. I was with him when he bought that place. And they would come up with tears in their eyes and say, where have you taken us? And I said, I've taken you to your childhood. I've taken you to Neverland. This is where Peter Pan is.